Only in Kentucky could one county become an underground gambling capital, witness a nightclub fire that forever changed national safety laws, and then build up a riverfront into an entertainment district that pulls in millions of visitors a year. Hi, I'm Michael. I want to teach you more about Kentucky, one county at a time, all 120 of them. And today, we're talking about Campbell County. Campbell County was formed in 1794 from parts of Mason, Scott, and Harrison counties. It was named for Colonel John Campbell, a Revolutionary War soldier and early Kentucky legislator. The first county seat was Wilmington, a small crossroads near what is now Fort Thomas. By 1797, residents pushed for a move to Newport, which was already becoming the county's main population center along the Licking River. White settlement began in 1789 when Major David Leitch led about 20 settlers to the mouth of the Licking River. They built Leitch's Station near present-day Wilder. The blockhouse served as the first permanent settlement in the county. After Leitch's death, his widow married James Taylor Jr., and the Taylors owned large tracts along the Licking River and guided Newport's development. Streets were surveyed by the mid-1790s, and the first courthouse opened in 1796. Newport's location, across from Cincinnati, made it a key trade point. In 1812, James Taylor Jr. built the hilltop mansion Bellevue, overlooking the rivers. Newport expanded with schools, churches, small industries, and civic buildings. By the 1830s, it was one of Kentucky's fastest-growing towns. The Civil War exposed deep political tensions. Newport had both pro-Union and pro-Southern factions. In 1859, a mob shut down an anti-slavery newspaper office in Newport. But when war came, most of the county leaned Union, influenced by Cincinnati next door. Newport Barracks, a U.S. Army post established in 1803 along the river, became a major Union recruitment, training, and medical facility. Troops bound for Western battles moved through that post, and wounded soldiers from Shiloh and other engagements were treated there. Over 1,000 Campbell County men joined the Union. A smaller number from rural areas, especially around Alexandria, enlisted on the Confederate side. Flooding crippled Newport Barracks. The river submerged the grounds repeatedly by the 1800s, and the Army needed a higher location. Construction of Fort Thomas began in 1887, and the new post opened around 1890. The fort included a 102 limestone water tower that still stands today. During the Spanish-American War, units like the 6th Infantry and the 8th Immunes organized and trained there. Captured cannons from Cuba were placed at the base of the tower, and the fort supported the military through both World Wars before the Army decommissioned most operations. The county seat issue shifted in the same period. When Kenton County was created in 1840, Campbell County's size shrank and state law required the seat to be more centrally located. Alexandria became the official seat, but Newport kept its own courthouse district well into the 1900s. The dual seat structure caused confusion for decades. And while both cities are recognized today, Alexandria houses the main county courthouse. By the late 1800s, Newport had become heavily industrial. Steel mills, meatpacking plants, foundries, and breweries lined the riverfront. Immigrants from Germany, Ireland, and Eastern Europe formed tight neighborhoods. Newport's German community built churches, singing societies, insurance lodges, and the large Wiedemann Brewery, which became one of the region's major employers. By 1900, Newport's population exceeded 28,000. The early 1900s brought labor conflict. In 1921, steelworkers in Newport began a strike that dragged on intermittently for nearly 7 years. It became one of the longest labor standoffs in the country. The walkout disrupted production, strained families, and shaped political coalitions along the mills. Campbell County also became the center of one of Kentucky's most infamous murder cases. In 1896, the headless body of Pearl Bryan, a young woman from Indiana, was found near Fort Thomas. Her killers were arrested, tried, and executed. The case received national coverage. Decades later, ghost stories tied to Bryan's death attached themselves to a nightclub building in Wilder, better known today as Bobby Mackey's. During the 1920s through the 1960s, Newport developed an interesting national reputation for organized crime. Illegal casinos, bookmaking operations, prostitution houses, and gambling rooms operated openly along Monmouth Street and the riverfront. Crime figures from Cleveland and Chicago invested in local clubs. Police and political corruption kept the industry running, and for many years, Newport was widely known as Sin City. Clubs such as the Flamingo and the Lookout House and the Beverly Hills Supper Club blended entertainment with illegal gambling. Reform movements emerged in the 1950s and 1960s. Civic organizations like the Committee of 500 pressed the indictments, statewide investigations, and political cleanups. Gradually, the vice economy collapsed, and by the early 1970s, the old gambling networks were gone, leaving Newport in search of a new economic direction. However, a major tragedy followed. On May 28, 1977, the Beverly Hills Supper Club in Southgate caught fire. The building was overcrowded, lacked proper exits, and suffered from poor safety compliance. The fire killed 165 people, making it one of the deadliest nightclub fires in U.S. history. Investigations led to sweeping reforms in national fire codes and enforcement. Transportation developments reshaped the county. Campbell County relied on ferries for most of the 1800s, carrying wagons, streetcars, and later automobiles across the Ohio River. The L&N Bridge, built in 1872, connected Newport and Cincinnati by rail. It eventually transitioned to pedestrian use and is known today as the Purple People Bridge. The completion of 471 in the 1970s shifted traffic patterns and connected the county directly to downtown Cincinnati. Campbell County has multiple independent school districts: Newport, Dayton, Bellevue, and until recently, Silver Grove. These districts reflect old community boundaries, local rivalries, persistent neighborhood identities. Newport Southgate Street School served black students during segregation until the 1950s. After desegregation, buildings, grade structures, and student assignments changed dramatically across the county. Northern Kentucky University, founded in 1968 as Northern Kentucky State College and renamed Northern Kentucky University in 1976, transformed Highland Heights neighborhood into a regional educational hub. The construction of the campus expanded dorms, and what is now Truist Arena brought students, jobs, concerts, and major events. NKU is now one of the most important economic engines in the county. Newport began a major riverfront transformation in the 1990s. After decades of decline, developers pushed for a new vision centered on tourism and entertainment. Newport Aquarium opened in 1999. Newport on the Levee opened in 2001 with restaurants, retail, and public plazas. The old Vice District became a family destination, and the waterfront reshaped and redeveloped into apartments, offices, and public spaces. Each town in the county built its own identity during that time. Bellevue preserved its early 1900s business district along Fairfield Avenue, now one of the most intact historic corridors in northern Kentucky. The Dayton neighborhood maintained strong riverfront neighborhoods with deep German Catholic roots. Southgate housed the region's major seminaries and suburban developments. Silver Grove formed in 1911 as a railroad town built by the L&N with its own independent school until the 2010s. Cold Spring grew rapidly after World War II, eventually becoming one of the county's key retail centers. Campbell County has also fostered cultural institutions. The Southgate House, a music venue in the old YMCA building where John T. Thompson, inventor of the Tommy gun, was born, became a nationally known stop on the indie music circuit. Artists like the White Stripes and the National performed there early in their careers. The county produced several notable figures. Jim Bunning, born in Fort Thomas, became a Hall of Fame pitcher and later a U.S. Senator. Chris Collinsworth grew up in Fort Thomas before playing for the Cincinnati Bengals and becoming a national broadcaster. Writer and artist Harlan Hubbard lived a minimalist life along the Ohio River and earned national recognition for his journals and paintings. Film producer Lucien Hubbard won an Academy Award in 1927 for Wings, which was significant because that was the first film to receive the Best Picture award. Today, Campbell County has around 93,000 residents. Fort Thomas is the largest city. Newport is the entertainment and tourism center. Bellevue, Dayton, Southgate, and Silver Grove line the river of the hills with tight-knit communities. Alexandria grows along US 27 with new housing, schools, and county services. A.J. Jolly Park in southern Campbell County offers lake recreation, trails, and large community events. So, that's Campbell County. What'd I get wrong this time?